to talk about this a little bit more now. And joining me from Washington is Luke Coffey. He's the director at the Douglas and Sarah Allison Center for Foreign Policy at the Heritage Foundation. Luke, great to have you on this news hour. Those early pictures coming in from that meeting that's underway at the moment. Our correspondent in Washington saying a bit of a strategic decision possibly by the Kremlin to release pictures of a very relaxed-looking Vladimir Putin, a smiling Joe Biden. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, of course. A meeting like this benefits Vladimir Putin more than it benefits Joe Biden, especially on a domestic level. When you consider the time zone difference, the Kremlin was probably eager to rush out clips, video clips of this meeting for the evening news cycle in Russia, of course. But also, when Putin meets with the president of the United States, it makes him look like an equal to the U.S. president on the world stage. And this is important for his image, especially in Russia. So just like with the earlier meeting this year in Geneva, Putin is, from the beginning, the winner just by securing a meeting like this.
Luke, I want to talk about Joe Biden's foreign policy stance. I mean, he's only been president since January. Some people are saying he will perhaps be a little too soft on Vladimir Putin during this meeting. The U.S., of course, saying there may be possible sanctions if Ukraine is invaded. Is Joe Biden tough enough to take the action that some Americans are calling for?
Well, the first thing we should remember is that Ukraine has already been invaded. It was invaded in 2014 when President Biden was then the vice president. So this would be a further invasion by Russia of Ukraine. The problem with the Biden administration and foreign policy is that it doesn't want to deal with foreign policy. It wants to put international crises behind them as quickly as possible so it can focus on its domestic agenda of infrastructure, projects and building, improving the economy, fighting the pandemic here in the United States. These are the challenges that the administration want to focus on. But the reality is this administration will have to deal with foreign policy challenges like the one Russia is posing right now in eastern Ukraine.
Well, the Ukraine's defense minister has asked for the presence of American, British, Canadian troops outside NATO. Do you think that call will be heeded?
I think this would be a step in the right direction. And I don't believe that these troops need to be near the front lines. Ukraine is a very big country. From one end of Ukraine to the other, we're talking more than 1,000 kilometers, perhaps 1,300 kilometers. And there's already a small U.S. military presence in the far west of the country conducting a training mission for the Ukrainian military. And I think it'd be great to see this training mission expanded. After all, this is about Ukraine, a sovereign nation, deciding which partner countries it wants inside of its territory and to help the Ukrainians train so they can better defend themselves. Of course, Ukraine was not the one that invaded Russia in 2014. Ukraine is the victim here, and we should be doing everything we can to help them with their self-defense and to protect themselves.
Luke Coffey, your analysis much appreciated. Live to us there from the U.S. Capitol.